going on, everybody? So today I want to break down something I've gotten questions on quite a few times, which is how I draw my supply and demand zone. So hopping right in, the examples I'm going to show today are this supply zone and this demand zone, just to show you guys what I'm looking at, this supply and this demand right here. So you can see this live from today. These zones respected pretty well, stayed pretty range bound today, but respected these as the extremes. So let's move into a clean chart in terms of finding it right from the beginning. So cleaning those up a little bit. So what I look for on my supply and demand zones is I will start with the hourly zone and hourly time frame, and look for big areas that either have big imbalances, big moves from them, or areas that are used as supply and then flipped into demand, or vice versa. So first off, just drawing this zone here, you can see huge move from here, rejected down, and this will kind of get our general idea of where we want to see this demand. So drawing that there, and moving on to the demand zone that we're going to look at today. It's the same idea. So in this case, it's going to be areas that you can see here use a lot of supply, broke above, use multiple times as demand. So let's draw that out as well, like that. And once I have that area, I also like to see that it is somewhat of a significant level on the daily. So you can see here, just moving to that daily time frame, this was that big reject area there, some confluence here, and a little bit today. And this area as the demand closed right there, held as supply there, held as supply there, broke above, uses demand, uses demand. So these are both pretty key areas on the daily, which is important to have. The higher the time frame, the more important some of these levels are going to be, or most of the levels are going to be. So from there, what I like to do, which is a little bit different from how some other people like to draw theirs, is I will go to the 5 minute, sometimes the 1 minute as well, but generally the 5 minute at least, and break down where these zones are, and I will just tighten them up to get those exact spots. So it doesn't always have to be this way if you don't like to, but I typically like to see these zones as accurate as I can get them. It gives me better R to R for when I trade them. So I'll literally just go back and see where are these zones respecting. So again, you can kind of see here in that 8 area here. And I will just scroll back to every time we tested this zone, every time we tested this area, and just see, okay, where did we respect when we tested it? So this is pretty good here. I might be able to move that up a little bit. Let's try that 94.18. And there's no real way to do this that's better than another. Should I move that down? You kind of got to just play with it, test it out, see what the levels are respecting. And I'm actually going to tweak this zone down here just a couple of cents. So there, you can see that respects a little bit better. So once you get these the way you like to see them on that lower time frame, you can pull them down into the more recent price action, which I do put a little bit more weight on. You can see here, respected nicely here, good bounce point here, and then once you get those zones how you like them, take it to the actual day's price action, and you can see here. So we stayed a little bit more range bound today. It was a FOMC minutes day, so a little bit more range bound early on, or even throughout the day. But the levels that we respected as the extremes were those zones we just drew, And if you take that down to the 1 minute even, these zones were respected pretty well. You can see here, nice bounce point there, and then you take it up to the supply. Same thing here, rejected right near the top of that zone, respected that bottom of the zone very well there. So that is just how I go about drawing mine. I like to have a little bit tighter R to R and when I trade, so I like to have those sniper entries, and this is just one way I found that helps me find those. If you're okay with saying like a 496 area, there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, I like to just put in that little extra work to get those zones a little more accurate, to just give a little tighter R to R on trades I take. There's no one shoe size fits all, so it's whatever works for you, but hopefully this did help some of you. If it did, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.